let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about being spontaneous, how to naturally raise your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and make your penis bigger. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. All right, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, of course tell some friends. Make sure you give me that thumbs up like Art Defonzarelli says, hey, and of course, make sure you're following me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat, I'm YOUNGDAYGO. And that's right, we're talking about being spontaneous, all the spontaneity, because you know what we're all about here in the BCC, the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective, where I help you manifest a bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder penis. Help you naturally raise your HGH and your testosterone. I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor here to expand your mind and increase your size. So without further ado, I'm here to tell you about being spontaneous. And yes, man, that is essentially what growth is all about, man. You got to be able to just go with the flow and be able to accept things that come into you. And that's what this is all about today. I've received some beautiful news and I'm kind of going with a different flow today. You know how I always practice my Wu-Wei flow, the Tao practice, path of least resistance, where you don't necessarily do something in a particular order. You're just doing things as they come. And of course, you got to be ready to have some fun, because like Moondog says, man, all right, man. Am I saying that the world is always conspiring for my happiness? Or am I saying, what I'm saying is fun, man. Fun is the gun. Never forget that. You have to write that down. Fun is the gun. I shared that in some of my videos, and it's a message that is always about part of being spontaneous. And what this has to do with being in the receptive mode of grow, it's helping you, it's helping you be in the moment. It's kind of like, Yes Man, with Jim Carrey. I'm throwing that out there just for the sake of it, because as soon as you say yes to an opportunity, that's where, you get that snowball effect of more and more and more. And that's what we're all about here, about having more and more things go on, helping you grow. And when we're talking about like this whole flow, and what I had to do today, I was outside, shoveling away, man. Detroit Rock City, man. We're in a winter advisory, and I got some news. I'm gonna be getting on a plane here in a little bit, and I'm gonna be, flying. I'll keep it, maybe I'll keep it as a surprise for you. You know what I mean? Just keep you tuning in, because you know me, I'm always putting content out daily. But I'll tell you what, it's gonna be a lot warmer than the D. And what we're talking about here is, I'm outside, and my snowblower wasn't working, and I had to essentially, shovel today. And it's something that I appreciate doing, because I feel that it naturally raises testosterone anyways. And it's just like, it's a beautiful, exercise that you can get before you're going on a trip. And when you're really getting down there and you're just digging and you're shoveling and you're plowing, and that's something that I always like to say, like the manual labor, those type of jobs where you're swinging a hammer or digging a ditch, these are the types of naturally raising testosterone type of labor. Now, like that's why you got guys that will always tell you, according to whatever whatever commercial they're trying to push, something like, are you a man nowadays? Men used to be men, man. They used to walk on, they used to all be steel workers and balance on planks and build skyscrapers. You know what I mean? But regardless, man, the guys, manual labor jobs are something that naturally raises your testosterone. I had a beautiful, super lit Labor Day extravaganza. If you're really digging into my archives, and in the future I'll be making me a nice playlist so you guys can find some of those videos. But nonetheless, we're talking about manual labor, how like I say, Mexican people tend to work a lot of manual labor, and they happen to make a lot of beautiful kids. And I ain't saying that it's all correlated, but it makes you think, you know what I mean? And I'm just saying that manual labor is something that you might need to do on a day-to-day, and that's why, or at least just get into those motions, which is why, certain exercises like with the kettlebells and, all these getting down into your loins, and then you got these CrossFit guys that will pay to go to a gym to swing a sledgehammer on a retire. Like, you understand that this type of motions and exercises are something that can help you, you know, put on your exercise, because you know what we're about here in the BCC, having that huge piece of meat swinging at the knees, throbbing in the pecs, making you your best. And when we're talking about this whole spontaneous flow to help you grow, it's something that you ought to know, and that's what we come down to every day. The most important way that you can let something come in is always being, you know where I'm going with this, always be in that gratitude attitude. So go ahead and take this breath with me. I got a shot today. I feel beautiful, because gratitude is the attitude. Every single day before my feet hit the ground, you know the sound. I got to just give thanks for being alive. If you got a breath in your lungs, never forget that, man. You got a shot. A shot at what? A shot at life. And that's a beautiful thing for you to always remember, man. And the more that you appreciate what you have and where you're at, that's going to be opening more doors to help you, you know, who knows go where. You know what I mean? And that's what it all comes down to today, man. So I'm really just appreciating the moment. I got to, like I said, go shovel, hang out with my wolf and my bear. And these are the types of things that are going to definitely help you out, you know, when it comes to, you know, manifesting more testosterone, human growth hormone, and making your penis bigger. Because, you know, of course, you know me, I got, I got my exercises that are constantly flowing through me, you know, that are, because I'm a conduit for this stuff. Like the ideas, the messages, they are all received through me. And these are things that I'm here sharing with you guys. Like, if you guys want, you know, more hands-on help, you get at me in the BCC, you drop me a line, and I will show you the super jelking, the super edging, the super Kegels, workouts with cock rings. We're talking about the, you know, putting, action into practice, and not worrying about, like the way of what you got going on your day to day, because essentially there's nothing in your way except yourself. And you ain't got to tell you, like, if I had more time, if I had more of this, you got enough time every day to do something for the grow. And that's what this flow is, like, all about, because it doesn't matter, you know, about, you know, like that you can't do something, best case scenario, like every day, every moment, every this. It doesn't matter, because if you're doing something in every aspect of what you need to be, that's going to make you 100% and more. And that's what growth is all about. And when we're talking about manifesting the muscle and making your penis bigger, you know, these exercises are continuously ongoing. And you can always, you know, like I said, there's always a point in the day where you're going to be able to do this, man, right before bed. Like I always say, edge before bed is one of the best things that you can do. And then, of course, you ain't got to get lost about, you know, how you're going about it, man. Just as long as you're setting the intention to do it, understand that you're naturally raising your testosterone, your human growth hormone. And like Pearl Mahatsa Yogananda says, man, the mind is the wielder of muscle. And that is, you know, that's something that I believe, because you know, you got so many different people out there that are going to do this diet, that diet, and people manifest all kinds of bodies that, you know, that are beautiful. And it doesn't matter if this guy's a vegan, if this guy eats fast food, if this guy's drinking Coca-Cola, if this guy's drinking beer, if this guy's drinking alkaline, you know, it doesn't matter. Like there's a beautiful body type for essentially every kind of diet. So it's all about what your mind is going to allow. And when you're letting your mind be the wielder of muscle, it's understanding the mind and muscle connection, which is why I always gotta get me a quick juicy pump in. Detroit Rock City one at a time. You know how we're going, you know how we're growing. You gotta get it pumped up before the trip, letting you know that energy is always there for you to grab onto. Doesn't matter about what time of day it is, doesn't matter about anything else except for the growth, except for the flow. Understand that you got the power inside to make yourself increase your size. Never forget that. I always say a couple positive mantras along the way when you're holding planks out to really let you just, you know, understand that you're doing something right. Understand that, you know, I'm so happy and grateful. Gratitude's the attitude that my huge, beautiful muscles are growing bigger, harder, stronger, more defined, abundantly. And then, of course, for the penis, I am so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful penis is growing bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder, abundantly. And of course, you know, if you want to do one for your metabolism, I'm so happy and grateful that I have a high metabolism. My body burns fat and builds lean muscle mass abundantly. I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want, gaining only lean muscle mass. And then of course, I am magic, I am divine, and the universe is on my side. So never forget that. And then when you gotta get one last rip out, you scream and you shout, or at least feel it in your head. You just go ahead and feel your muscles expand, because the feel is real. And you just gotta go ahead and just get this out and just go ahead and say, I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh yeah, 2020 getting lit, getting huge. Let's grow, let's flow. It's a beautiful thing. Whew, you gotta love it, man. It is huge juicy pump, man. Just grabbing it out of the air. Long hair flowing, skin glowing, body growing, spirit knowing that I'm doing something right. And that's a beautiful thing. And for that, I say salute. That's right, drinking some water. Getting ready for, you know, before my trip, I want to make sure I hit a quick fast before, you know, I get on the plane or whatever. And like I said, every day is different. I don't go too crazy with you know, I do my intermittent fasting, but I'm not as crazy as what I once was. If you watch some of my, you know, previous videos, like in the beginning, I wouldn't say the beginning, but some of my first videos I've talked about intermittent fasting, where, you know, I was really like, that was like one of my main jams. And, you know, I would go like, you know, usually on a day-to-day, I was doing like 20 hours was my average, and just having like one meal. And as I went through it, I understand that it's hard to get a lot of protein in when you're only doing your meal in a 4-hour window. It's just because your body, like when you go 20 hours, like, everybody wants to, you know, do these detox diets out there. Like, I'm doing the juice cleanse, I'm doing this cleanse, I'm doing the water cleanse, whatever cleanse that I gotta say. If you do the fasting, is the way if you want to do a detox, because a detox is getting it all out. And if you want to get it all out, you got to stop putting stuff in. And that's what it all comes down to, because essentially, when you're doing a fast like that, and you're just like, you know, like 20 hours on a day-to-day, for me, I realized is too much, just because your body gets rid of like all your digestive enzymes and all this stuff to break down the food. And like I was finding issues, like, you know, especially like if you go more than 20 hours and then you just start, like, you can still eat, is the bottom line. Like, I don't care what anybody tells you, oh, your stomach shrinks, nothing, no, man. We're all about growing, man. So you get done with a fast, you're gonna want to eat. You know, you'll be able to clear out a whole buffet. Man, I don't care what they guys say. At least me, you know, I could eat like a couple large pizzas after that, no problem. The only thing is you're gonna be on the toilet, because your body ain't gonna break it down, and it's just gonna come out. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be a mess. You know, that's why I always say, you know, number one, you eat it. Number two, we check the deuce. And what I found is, you know, when the deuce is loose, the deuce is wild, man. You know what I mean? Donnie, lowrider, Donnie. Okay, let's ride. I had to get you a quick Nick Cage analogy. You know what I mean? We're just going a little too serious with the fast. You know what I'm getting at. But regardless, man, when you're talking about if you want to lose weight and detox, one of the greatest ways to do it. I still practice, you know, like going about 15 hours daily, and I find that with my sleeping and, you know, going throughout the flow of the day, it makes sense for me where I'm able to digest my food better, and it's, you know, I'm able to get a lot more protein in. And when you're getting into the belief system of more protein equals more muscle, it's something that you can, you know, help you achieve. And that's essentially a collective belief anyways, because, you know, the whole high protein thing is something that, well, when you get into the science and they're the building blocks and the amino acids and this, that, and the other, it's like, all right, you know, I don't discredit science, but I don't discredit magic. And I feel that, you know, a lot of, you know, manifesting your body is magic, and you got to understand that we are all magic anyways. And, you know, essentially, we're blessed to be here, man. And the life is just something that you just got to be happy that that you got a shot today. And that's something that you just got to smile about. And like I say, man, the smile is divine. It's made inside the mind. Anytime you're smiling, you're doing something right. If you're grinning, you're winning. Never forget that, which is why I say that, no matter what, if you got to watch a comedy special, if you got to scroll some stuff on the gram, you got to look at, a big booty pic or a wolf or whatever makes you tick, a spiritual quote that's going to give you some synchronistic motivation. These are things that can, help you out. Like I said, if it's making you do this, it's doing something right. But if it's taking you away from the moment and it's making you judge yourself, that's no good for nobody. You don't need to be doing that. You just got to, if you feel like you shouldn't be on the phone, then you shouldn't. But essentially, you watch all these gurus out there, they're going to tell you, man, like, oh yeah, you shouldn't, every morning, get away from your phone. You shouldn't be scrolling Instagram, but make sure you're liking my pics and make sure you're liking my vids. And it's like, look, all right, I'm not saying that everybody out there sounds like a hypocrite when they're talking about, about not being on social media while they're preaching, while they're coming at you on social media. You know what I mean? Excuse me. I got a little bit of aqua left. I'm going to be getting me a beer pretty soon. You know how I go. I'm always holding my accountability. And you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot. That's right, Mr. Larson. I'll be cracking a couple beers soon. Soon enough, but I'm here for right now, just enjoying the moment with you, letting you know that anytime that you're smiling, anytime that you're able to watch something that just makes you laugh for no reason, that's where it's at. Like I say, we're all tethered to happiness anyways. Everybody that came here was born from excitement. The people that brought you here were excited to do it, man. Like, that's why I feel like that is essentially the energy of what we really are. Like, I mean, you look at a child, you look at a baby. I mean, how often do you see, a sad baby? I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I like to think that majority of them are grinning most of the time. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the energy that we are always tethered to anyways. Like, we're all tethered to happiness, man. And no matter how you go and float out into the sea of life and do your daily tribulations, just as long as you remember that the happiness is always there, something's going to eventually just snap back and slap a happy right in your face. And that's when people have the profound moments of clarity. But if you're able to just bring that happy with you the whole way, you're like, oh yeah, this is how I'm supposed to be anyways. And that's the stuff that helps you go, and that's what helps you grow. And when you want to get all scientific-y and understand, like, cortisol levels and really get into that, like I say, happiness is, the key to, keeping yourself, sleeping better, eating better, feeling better. And that's what making yourself better is all about. That's where the growth is. It's not about keeping yourself down and keeping you at your knees permanently if you let it. Because you, me, or nobody's going to hit as hard as life. But it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how it's done. So if you know what you're worth, go out and get what you're worth. But don't be pointing fingers at him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. I had to throw you with a quick, Rocky Balboa analogy just to make sure we keep the motivation right. It's something that is just, it always resonates, man. These messages are always here. You can always get a message essentially out of a movie, out of some type of clip that you might see on Netflix. Who knows? Just be open to them. And that's what spontaneous and being is all about. The spontaneity, just letting you know that you can do something different today to help you grow. And be open to all kinds of ways to help you, help you throughout the day. And like I say, man, I'm gonna be reporting to you, always holding my accountability. That's right, Mr. Larson. We're gonna be doing some things, and you're gonna be seeing some beautiful, we're gonna be having some more beautiful experiences. I'm here for you. You know what we're going with. Never forget that, the triple D's. And no, we ain't talking tighter, Gavin the Drive, Guy Fieri. We're talking don't doubt your dick. We're talking, don't make your stick Don't make your stick, you know, but like I said, if that's something that's making people laugh, understand that if you're making yourself the sad clown, then you got to reevaluate that and turn it around. Is the joke worth making yourself a joke? Or if it's something that's making you smile and just making you feel happy, that's a beautiful thing. Because what it all comes down to anyways is love. And I always got to share that. You know what I'm coming with. Every single time, man, no matter what, when we're talking about the chakras and, you know, that fire line that's running these beautiful avatars, we're talking about love being the most powerful one of all. The third eye just roaring back there, you know, that pituitary gland dripping that DMT. Joe Rogan, you know what I'm talking about. We're talking about love right now. And, you know, like I say, never forget the penis is on the root when we're talking about the chakras. But when we're talking about the power of love, going out there today, whoever comes across your mind, if you're seeing somebody on the TV, if you're hearing somebody on the other line of the phone, forget about the thought if it's good, bad, or neutral. Just intend on that person, that soul, to have a beautiful day, to feel love in some kind of way. And you just hacked the matrix. We just made the world a better place. And that's what it all comes down to today and every day, man. So just make sure you're going out there and you're spreading love, because it comes back to you. And when you're starting in here, when you're loving yourself, you're loving everybody else. It's the yin and the yang. It's the woo and the wei. It's the flow to the grow. And like I say, man, make sure you guys are, following me on my social media. Check out my kids. See, taking care of the neighborhood. My wolf and my bear. We got some beautiful things coming. Some travel. Who knows what's coming? 2020. Let's flow. Let's grow. We got beautiful things coming this year. I'll be seeing you guys around. Spread some love. And intend on you guys to, feel beautiful. Feel love. Spread that love. And intend on all of us to grow into the huge, massive giants that we are, man. Just talking about, growing huge, having that huge piece of meat. Thrive between your pecs. Give it a kiss. How you doing? Not worrying about them little gremlins at your feet. And of course, not stopping on any friends of yours' houses or anything, because we're just, a huge, giant love, man. Not worried about nothing. Just spreading that love around. You guys are beautiful. I'll be seeing you around. Take it easy. Peace.